Well, I don't know. Dolan's a gambler. Me and her, we could gamble all night long.
You watch out. Couple years down the road, she might be.
Yeah. How's my hair look?
Oh, it looks fantastic.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, as long as she likes.
You're only in 720p though, so I mean that helps.
Oh yeah. Wait till she sees me in HD. She'll be flaming like my shirt, son.
Oh my gosh, she is a smoke show. But I don't know. She's still pretty new, so we'll see if she has.
I would turn in being a Washington fan and be a diehard Philly fan and throw batteries like the rest of those nut jobs. If she'd just go gamble with me one night.
I'm gambling again.
All right, on this episode of Bustin' Chops and Calling Shots, Josh is out again. He's enjoying his time in Disney World, and we talk a little bit about, of course, the Pro Bowl, the Flag Football Day, and all the festivities there. We go into some NFL news, the QB Carousel update. We talk about Carr potentially going to the Saints, what's best for Jimmy G, what Aaron Rodgers say about where he wants to go. John gives us some additional news and then some Super Bowl props. That was really fun. We do some NBA news, Kyrie traded. We talk about Steph Curry being out and the NBA trade deadline on approach.
You want to bet? I don't bet. What do you mean you don't bet? I mean, I don't bet.
You're listening to Bustin' Chops and Calling Shots.
What's up, team? Welcome back to another episode of Bustin' Chops and Calling Shots. Producer AJ in the chair for Josh, who is gone on episode 51. Can you believe that? Why didn't we do a big celebration for episode 50? I don't know.
Well, I did. Nobody showed up to work again.
Well, no. Josh was here, but we're on episode 51, and here we are.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything when he was here. Talked about Mahomes the whole time.
It's true. That was his celebrating there. So here we are, episode 51. Guys, anywhere you can find your podcast. Obviously, if you're listening to us on podcast, you know where to find us. But hey, if you are listening to us on podcast, make sure you check us out on YouTube, too. We've actually been putting a lot of work into the YouTube, getting these episodes up for you, trying to kind of pretty it up for you a little bit, polish it a little bit so you have something for your viewing pleasure. You can check us out there. It's youtube.com at Bustin' Chops Calling Shots. No and no G's in that. And you can also find us with the same handle on IG and Facebook, Bustin' Chops Calling Shots. No and, no G. Check out our website, of course, bccssports.com. That's where you can sign up for a free package, get all of your picks, and please sign up for a paid package. That would be ideal. You're going to get the most value out of that. And then if you're into some laughs, go check out our Twitter. John's on there all the time. BCCS Sports is our handle on Twitter. So, John, Josh is not here. I think he said, I don't know if he told me where he was going to be. He just said he was going to be out of town, but is he at Disneyland again? Or?
He's at Disney World this time. The okay. Guy's at Disney more than daggone Pluto, for God's sakes.
I know. We were actually planning on taking our kids, if all things work out this summer, which is a whole nother endeavor when you have kids. Yeah, but
they'll love it.
We grew up in Southern California, so Disneyland was kind of it. So Disney World, if we go down to Florida, which is a lot closer to Nashville, Tennessee, is going to be a whole different ball game. And when it comes to the price point, it also is a whole different ball game than just going with you and your wife. So enjoy it while you can.
Disney World is much better than Disneyland, dude.
Oh, really? You've been to both?
Oh, outdoes it like 10-1.
Okay. All right. Well, I might have to go to you for some recommendations on all the extra things that there is to do at Disneyland or Disney World instead of Disneyland.
Yeah, Disney World's awesome, man. They have Hilton has a nice resort there at Lake Buena Vista there at Disney Springs. So I highly recommend that place. All
right. I'm taking notes as we speak. There you have it, guys. Well, enough of the banter about Disney World. Disney World. Let's jump into some news. Let's talk about, did you watch the Pro Bowl today? Let's just talk about that. Let's just dive right into the Pro Bowl because I was watching that today and listened to partly to it on the radio as well because I was out running honeydews. But I couldn't wait to get on tonight and to get your thoughts on what you thought about the Pro Bowl. Obviously a way different format. They had it in Vegas and, the flag football, the 3 different games of flag football, all the challenges, which I kind of like the challenges thing. I think the NBA kind of did it right when they did that a couple years ago. They started doing the 3-point contest and that's kind of fun. Yeah. But when you loop it all into kind of one day, what were your thoughts? Like, what were your takeaways after?
My thoughts were Josh Jacobs' thoughts. What the hell is going on out here? I mean, look, back when I was trying to rack my brain, back when I was a kid, and watching the Pro Bowls with Marino and Kelly and Elway and Favre and all them cats, I don't remember it being like this. Like, I remember Sean Taylor, like, leveling punters, right? And I get it. Like, there's a 17-game season, blah, 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 blah. I mean, they act like people can't get hurt walking down the steps, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
But they had the old QB challenge years ago where, like, the big target moved, and that was, like, my favorite one. So seeing that was a little cool, but, like, the flag football game, like, you better be careful with that, folks, because, look, there's already high schools that have abandoned tackle football and went to 7-on-7 flag football.
Right.
You don't, and the whole concussions being up thing, blah, 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 which don't even get me started on that. I think most of it's shenanigans anyway. But I just think it's a horrible product. I mean, the most dying professional sport in the country is Major League Baseball. And yet they have the best all-star game.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
I mean, the NBA, it's just it's a show until the last 5 minutes. And then what they did with the NFL, and again, I get it, you don't want to, but I mean, isn't that the reason you have the Pro Bowl? You want to see the best against the best?
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, look, if you don't want to play in it, then you don't get the ticket to go and the free vacation for the week for you and your family, or the money. Stay home and let somebody fill in. But look, I knew it was an albatross when I saw the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens, Huntley, who threw 4 touchdown passes, is a gosh darn Pro Bowler, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird. And, I wondered actually, like, I didn't look this up at all, but like, what was the roster, the depth chart, right, so to speak, for, because it seemed like they just kind of put anybody and everybody out there in some regards, and no credit taken away from the folks that did deserve to be there. There were folks that deserved to be there, but what really bothered me was you have these amazing linemen out there, right? And of course I'm partial Jeffrey Simmons. I think he's one of the best defensive, players in the NFL, and you got these guys out there that are ready to show off their stuff, and yet they're not playing in the prime time thing, right? You have one center who's snapping the ball and has to just sit there and do nothing. And so I kind of felt for them, right? Like the offensive and defensive linemen that worked their butt off all year to get here, and they want to show off their skills, and they're just kind of sitting on the sideline cheering things on.
Yeah, they're swinging a golf club. Like, who cares how far somebody can drive the ball? If I want to watch somebody tee off, I'll tune in to the next time Tiger Woods is on the course.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to watch Jared Allen or, how far can you hit a golf ball? Who cares?
Right.
And the dodgeball thing, that is about the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Dear God.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're going to be playing Scrabble together.
Actually, pretty funny.
Look, yeah. But look, the Huntley thing, if he was hurt, who was the next quarterback up for the Pro Bowl? Zach Wilson?
Goodness gracious. I don't even want to know. I really don't. And,
were they going to trot Skylar Thompson out there? Jake would have loved that.
Yeah, he would have.
The third string quarterback of the Dolphins is the third string quarterback in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Good God.
And what was the deal with Tua, right? So he barely missed the cutoff because he had just come back from the concussion protocol just after they decided.
You got to be cleared. You're not even getting hit, which is all the more reason to be concerned if you're a Dolphins fan. The guy isn't even allowed to walk down the street without a helmet, much less put him 11 on 11 inside the chalk. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. And, I think, you think that it's the game, what's the concern here? What was the reason for changing, if you had to guess? Is it because they're so concerned about players getting hurt?
Player safety, and the game had gotten all watered down because people weren't tackling, and then just do away with it.
Right.
Just do away with it.
Yeah.
Like, and nobody's going to want to hear this, right? But just give them the extra money you give them for the Pro Bowl, and go down to 2 preseason games or whatever it is, and give me another week of NFL or another team in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even just getting selected should be enough, right? Like, you don't have to play in a game, right? Like, here you
No,
go. Yeah,
I mean-
you were one of the best, and I guess that's really what they're trying to do here. But
Look, they didn't play a game, and I guarantee you guys felt more honored to be on the All Madden team than they did make a Pro Bowl.
right? Yeah.
But I mean, if you're a fan, there's no way you sat through that whole thing. Dear God. I mean, I was on the treadmill and the TV next to it had Bonanza reruns. I watched that instead, for God's sakes.
Yeah. So what do you think is the best? Okay, so you said you think MLB is the best. Why would you say that? I know we had NHL this weekend as well, so I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. But
NHL does a good job.
yeah. So MLB, I tend to agree with you with MLB. I think actually, well, is it because there's stakes behind it as far as the World Series home advantage?
There's stakes behind it, and here's the other thing: you can't go half speed in baseball.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I mean, the guys aren't going to throw 60 instead of throwing 90.
Yeah. Right.
All right. A guy's, he might not sprint down the first baseline, right? But I mean, baseball's just a whole lot harder to control, right? NFL, once you take the pads and stuff off, it's a poop show. We saw that this weekend. The NBA, like I said, they play no defense. It's just an alley-oop show for the fans. Whatever. Look, if you want to help the fans with the NBA, just make the prima donnas, the LeBrons of the world, make them get in the dunk contest instead of playing the game. Because that's really what the fans want to see.
The dunk contest. Absolutely. Yeah.
They don't want to see a bunch of guys. They want LeBron in the dunk contest. They want Zion. Make them do that.
Yeah. Instead,
and then if you want an actual game, do something like a 3-on-3 thing with just the main studs. That's what people want to watch. They don't want to watch. I mean, I remember when Gilbert Arenas made it. Dear God, how does Gilbert Arenas get on an all-star team, right? So I just think I get why we do it, but it's not like it was back in the 70s and 80s where it truly meant something. I mean, again, like I know like the NBA, the fans vote, but how Joel Embiid, who could end up being the MVP, isn't starting in the All-Star game, well, then why have it?
Right.
The guy that could literally win the MVP is not starting. So in NFL this week, again, I like the quarterback challenge stuff. That's kind of cool. But like when we're playing dodgeball and golf longest drive, who gives a rip? You know what I mean?
So what do you think? Do you think the dunk challenge is, as far as the non-game festivities?
The dunk challenge, the dunk contest, and the home run derby are still the two best things.
Which one do you tune into over the other if you had to choose?
Oh, home run derby. I mean, the dunk contest is a bunch of guys I don't know. And let's be real,
Right.
I've already seen just about every dunk there is.
Yeah.
I mean, when you grow up and you watch Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, and Kobe Bryant, there's not a whole lot more dunking of the basketball I need to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've pretty much seen it all at that point.
Well, isn't it kind of the same with the home run derby too? Is it, you get some of the big names, but then it's not every slugger that you'd want to see out there. For some reason, some people don't do it. Or whatever.
It goes off of numbers, and sometimes that gets a little bent out of shape, right? But
Yeah, like I was playing the MLB The Show with my son the other day. We had the home run derby on, and I was like, all right, Mike Trout, Aaron Judge. And then I picked, from the All-Star team, Ken Griffey Jr. and Frank Thomas. It was just like, I want to see like, all right, the sluggers that I know can just kill it. Like, I want to see them go after it. And sometimes I feel like we don't get that product.
Look, that's one of the biggest problems, again, with all these All-Star games is the mere fact that the stars aren't in it.
Yeah.
Or aren't made to do the main events. And that's what's really cheating the people. If you want to fix it, make LeBron do the dunk contest. Look, at 38, he's still a better dunker than 90% of the league anyway. Right? A home run derby. I want to see Bryce Harper. I want to see Mike Trout. I don't care who's leading the home run standings. I want to see those guys. I want to see Guerrero. Right? I want to see Ohtani. I want to see those guys in it. Again, I just think if we the All-Stars or Pro Bowl or whatever, it's all about what? The stars.
Yes.
So that's what I want to see. I want to see the stars. I don't want to see some guy that's the 15th reserve because the other 14 jabronis didn't want to go out there and sprain an ankle. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Man,
Well,
I got screwed in this NASCAR race. One of the guys I gave out was Kyle Busch. Remember, me and you were on the air. He was 5th, going for 4th. Had finally got his car dialed in, got spun out, went all the way back to 20-something. He's up to 10th, but he's going to run out of time. Only 23 laps left. Going to run out of time. My only hope is Austin Dillon riding in 3rd, who was 4,000 to 1.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into all of that once the race is over for sure. We have it on the slide.
Come on.
I will be intrigued to see tomorrow how the ratings played out versus previous years. I don't know. I mean, you and I have one opinion, but let's see. Let's see if the general public actually viewed this more, or, I'm sure they did because it was a sort of an anomaly, or it was, kind of this, new thing. But, I would be interested to see kind of how the ratings play out as we go on, because maybe people do find it more interesting with the NFL.
AJ, 20 laps to go. Dillon's in 2nd. If he could somehow run down Truex, but Truex has been the fastest car. If we could get this in, holy cannoli, I ain't going to work tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Well, that says a lot since you work for yourself. So,
yeah. And I take no days off.
Right.
But no, I don't think viewership will be down because you said best. It was the first time.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, they ain't going to get half what they got next year.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't enjoy. Look, if you're going to do flag football, the only way I could get down with it is if you did a 4-team thing, because you got so many guys that opt out anyway, right?
Right.
And it's flag football, so nobody's going to get like hurt, right? I would rather you break, instead of 2 teams, you break it down to 4 and bring back old Hall of Famers.
Yeah. Oh,
Montana.
yeah. Almost like a celebrity kind of game-ish. Yeah.
Marino, put prime time out there. Give me Jerry Rice, Michael Irvin. Like, I'll watch flag football then.
Yeah.
If I got the greats mixed in with some of the new guys on each team, now I can somebody get Goodell's ass on the phone.
On. Hire this guy, guys. Come on. He knows,
Jesus.
He knows what he's talking about. He's got all the answers.
I got them all. Meanwhile, I'm here picking winners and, oh my God, Kyle Busch just running. He's up to 7th. I mean, I need a caution. Somebody put somebody in the wall, would you?
Well, let's stay on NFL for a little bit, because I did listen to an interview when I was tuning in to Westwood One. Derek Carr obviously is going to be vacating his role from the Raiders this year, and he was in the All-Star game, or the Pro Bowl game, I should say. Did well. Had some kind words for the people of Las Vegas and Oakland, where he's been for the last 6 seasons, and looks like the Saints could also be eyeing him. So let's go through a little bit of a kind of a QB update here of our QB carousel. We got Derek Carr, who's potentially going to the Saints. What's the best situation for him? What's the best situation for Jimmy G? We have some Aaron Rodgers updates. So let's dive right in. What do you think about Derek Carr going to the Saints or potentially anywhere else? What do you think the best fit for him is?
Well, look, in that NFC South, anybody that gets a quarterback's winning it.
Yeah.
Because, again, you got Blaine Gabbert, Sam Darnold, Jameis Winston, and Darren Ritter. I mean, if anybody in that division gets a quarterback, they're off. Now, if you're Derek Carr, I don't see why you want to go to the Saints, because you got a defensive head coach that you already played for in Dennis Allen. And I don't think Dennis Allen's good enough to be a head coach. And Carr already played for him early in his career and had no success. Caution with 10 to go, in case you want to know. Busch is up to 5th. I got the second and 6th place Carr, for the love of God, somebody. But I think Carolina is a better fit than New Orleans, if I'm Carr, because you got Frank Reich.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know what I mean? Now, the other thing I like, whenever Ron Rivera is done swinging a golf club at Pebble Beach and might think about hiring coordinators, something important, before the draft comes around, it's been leaked and reported that Eric Bieniemy is number 1 on their list to be the offensive coordinator
For the Commanders.
for the Commanders.
Oh, wow. All right.
Look, Eric Bieniemy and Derek Carr makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you can see that.
Look, and again, yes, folks, I'm a Washington fan. I'm dying for them to be a relevant team because they haven't been since the 90s with Gibbs. They got all the pieces, AJ. They have a Super Bowl roster at every level. Defense, wideouts. They can get it done with the running backs they got. Good offensive. Just every quarterback they have on the roster sucks is the issue. And I think Derek Carr fixes all that. Now, if you're the Raiders, I don't see you trading him to the Jets. And there hasn't been a whole lot of talk, but he's got to be traded before February 15th, or the Raiders got to pay him $40 million. So this is going to happen more than likely sometime before we come back on the air next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It may even happen before Wednesday, but I doubt it. But I tell you what, the Saints thing they got weapons, right? Olave, Michael Thomas, if he could stay healthy.
Yeah.
But they got pieces, but I just don't see him wanting to go there. And he has a no trade clause, so he's the one that's negotiating where he wants to go. So he has all the leverage. Derek Carr, if you're listening, which you're probably not, and if you're not, you should, and tell all your friends. Carolina, or if Washington gets Bieniemy, those two are much better fits. The other thing that really baffles me, and again, I'm a huge Kyle Shanahan guy. I think he's the best offensive mind in football. But I think he's a little arrogant right now and full of himself.
Oh, okay.
Because if you're really telling me you feel great with Trey Lance that's played like 5 games in the last 4 years, I mean, can't we sit here and say if Derek Carr is on that 49ers team, they're in the Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Like, I don't understand what San Francisco, we got 10 laps here. They're right here. Just, I mean, for the love of God, somebody do something. Somebody spin somebody out, hit somebody. I could never be a race car driver. They'd throw me out of the sport for wrecking everybody. But yeah, man, like, I just think Derek Carr to the 49ers makes way too much sense.
Yeah, and I don't see why that's not a viable option for him. I think that, Raiders, Niners, a little bit of a rivalry there, I guess, if you want to say, but certainly, not in the same division. And Tom Brady has joined us, your boy. But
Tom Brady.
Skylar
Thompson.
Were you in the flag football Pro Bowl game earlier? So yeah, no, I could see that fitting for sure. Now the question is, what's the best fit for Jimmy G now, right? So we talked a little bit about the Niners just now, but what's the most logical thing there?
I think for Jimmy G, it's the Raiders. Again,
wow, just swap them.
Just swap them. You know what I mean? But Garoppolo's a free agent, but sign Garoppolo back. And it's just, look, Garoppolo goes to Vegas. They instantly are very, very relevant, right? Plus, he's played under McDaniels before. You give him all those weapons. Then on the flip side, Derek Carr in San Francisco makes all the sense in the world because Miami's too dumb to get either one of those guys, right? So it just makes too much sense. Like the Jets, look, I know everybody's on this Jets thing, but they're still, to quote the little kid in Big Daddy, they're still the goddamn Jets, okay? Like, let's stop all the Jets talk, acting like if they get a quarterback, they're going to the promised land, okay? And then Tennessee, I think it needs a complete rebuild overhaul. I think it needs I know you don't want to hear that, but I think it needs an absolute overhaul. And then, the Saints, I don't think they have a good coach in Dennis Allen. The Panthers, great defense, got a wide receiver and more. If they pick up a quarterback, now they could use that top pick to get that elite stud receiver out of TCU, Thompson, and now all of a sudden Carolina is scary good, right? But I just don't see, the other thing is, if you're talking about the Aaron Rodgers thing, which I don't think it makes, I mean, if you're Rodgers, why would you want to go to the AFC West? But I think the Packers control this situation so they can trade him wherever. I would trade him to Vegas for Carr.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think there's options, and Derek Carr's a really good quarterback, and I think he's taking the fall for this whole Raider thing, and the reality is, man, he got that team to the playoffs multiple years. Oh, my God, Kyle Busch has worked his way all the way back to the front row with 7 to go. He's going to be on the outside of Truex. We got Austin Dillon in third.
Jeez.
We got the second and third place guy with 7 laps to go. That's all I can ask for. Though Truex has been the fastest all weekend long, but whatever. What are you going to do?
What can you do? I don't know. So Aaron Rodgers was at the Pro-Am this weekend, you said, right?
Yes.
And made some comments. He said he's not going to San Francisco.
Yeah,
so that is off the table.
That's probably the dumbest comment I've ever heard come out of Aaron Rodgers' mouth, and that is saying a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, that is saying a lot.
Yeah, you love it.
So, I just don't, like, if you're Rodgers, why would you even make that comment?
Maybe he really doesn't want to go there.
Why? You know why he wouldn't? Because then he wouldn't be able to run and hide. Aaron Rodgers wants to go to the Jets or go to the Raiders so he can say, see, I went to a horrible franchise. That guy has no ownership whatsoever. He's just a buzzard. He's just a buzzard. I know he's your guy. He's just a buzzard. We're going to lose this race. Kyle Busch spun his tires. Oh, well.
Yeah, I mean,
I had a chance.
I think he, if he's looking to win next year, I think San Francisco is a good option for him. There's got to be something else here. It's got to be something else going on here, Maybe he really wants somewhere else.
He doesn't want the pressure. He doesn't want the pressure. I mean,
then
that's
why even play? I mean, the guy could just retire next year and just go on.
Well, he's got 54 million reasons to play, AJ.
True. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I don't know. What other news you got from the NFL? I think you have some Super Bowl stuff you wanted to share with us, but is there anything in the meantime that you had?
No. I mean, I'm interested to see what the Redskins do about a coordinator. Jeez. Story of my life this weekend. My drivers finished second and third. Unreal.
Second and third, ouch. So you just
if either one of them win, I win over $2,000.
So that's all you needed, just one of those guys to win?
Just one of them.
All right.
So, but hey. No, I want to see where the Redskins go with the coordinator situation. Derek Carr is going to get traded sometime in the next 7 days. I want to see where that goes. I think that I'm really interested on this Miami thing. Like, I know they've committed to Tua, but I just got to wonder, like, man, you're sitting there. I don't know. You got Derek Carr out there. You got Aaron Rodgers out there. Tua can't even get cleared to play a flag football game, for Christ's sake. I mean, Tua, can you suit up for the flag football game? Sure, I can play memory. What day is it? So, yeah. So, yeah, I know he's not playing memory because he can't remember how many times he's gotten hit. So, like, I don't know, man. And the Aaron Rodgers thing, I just want it to be over. I'm so tired of that guy. That guy is a drama queen.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I don't know how you love that guy.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying I love him. I love it. I love this whole thing. It makes me keeps me interested.
It's nauseating.
Jake and I were talking earlier about, and producer Jake with us, everybody. Welcome to the show. We were talking earlier about how NFL has just become this year-round thing, right? Like it's Senior Bowl, and then it's Combine, and then it's the draft, and next thing you know, spring training training camps right around the corner. It just feels like, and then Aaron Rodgers just really enhances all of it. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is the one that keeps me interested in the NFL during the offseason. From all these antics, and I'm 100% for it.
Well, you got the NFL regular season, the NFL playoffs, the Pro Bowl, the draft, the NFL trade deadline or off-season moves, and then you got the Aaron Rodgers season.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, we'll bring you around eventually, John. Don't worry about it. I got you. So, how are we feeling about Super Bowl? What are we thinking? You got anything?
I'm locked and loaded. I know which way I'm going. I know what I'm going to give out.
You're putting your whole bankroll on it, right? Because
no,
they pay out
Super
more
Bowl
in Vegas for this one than they do for any other game. So, right?
No. Look, guys, the Super Bowl is a coin flip. It is almost every year. So, no, you don't go crazy. It's the same unit. If you want to have fun with some props and kind of, the Super Bowl is the perfect time. I always tell people, take a couple $100, right, that you can spare and you're not going to be all butthurt about. And just play a bunch of props, play a bunch of wild stuff, have some fun with it, right? Because the reality is, I mean, I'm trying to think back. Last year, who'd we have in the Super Bowl?
Last year was Cincinnati and the Rams.
Yeah. All right. Well, I take that back. I love Cincinnati plus 3.5, which it came in. What was before that?
That was the Rams and Kansas City.
No, that was Kansas City and the Bucks. Yeah, I love.
Oh, and the Bucks. Sorry. Yes.
All right. So like the last 4 I've liked, but before that there was like 7 I didn't. Right.
Okay.
All the way back to like the Cardinals, Steelers. So it just depends on the game. I think this is a very even matchup. I really do. And there's no, like, somebody that sits there and says, oh, Philly's going to win, I got no doubt. First of all, you're a liar. Anybody that sits there and says the Chiefs are going to blow them out, I don't say, like,
No.
There's just no way you can say that about either or, right? I do think the game, when you have two teams evenly matched like this, you tend to see some wild and crazy stuff. There's usually an unsung hero that makes a play or scores a touchdown. There's some unconventional ways that things happen, right? Will there be overtime in the game? That would probably be a good prop to play. Anybody that plays stupid stuff like coin toss and all that, I mean, there's just much better stuff. Like I was looking, and again, these aren't plays, but just a couple things I like. To score a touchdown, I love A.J. Brown plus 125.
Oh, gosh.
He has been quiet as a mouse the whole playoffs. Right? Now, I'm still waiting to hear what's going on with Snead, the Chiefs' best defensive back. But I think A.J. Brown finds the end zone in this game. I think A.J. Brown has some big, big catches. Right?
You thinking to score a touchdown or the first touchdown?
8 touchdowns plus 125. The whole score, the first touchdown, again.
It's so hard.
If you want to get crazy, again, if you want to take $200 and do a bunch of little $5, $10, $20 parlays and have fun, do it. Right? We had a great football season. We were like, just in the NFL, we were like 58 games over. So the Super Bowl is meant to have fun, right?
Yeah.
Very rarely, and again, the last 3 I have loved the side. I'm not like in love like I have been the past 3 years. I'm just not. Now, I do like a side, right? And I like a couple different plays as far as halves and different stuff like that. And like I said, I got 5 that we're going to give out, but I like A.J. Brown. I think that's interesting, plus 125. Goddard, plus $1.75 to score a touchdown.
He's been great this postseason.
Yeah. But he hadn't found the end zone.
No, but just really clutch.
Yeah. Travis Kelce, yeah, it's not plus money. It's minus 125. But, dear God, when does he not score a touchdown in the playoffs?
Right.
I mean, you know. McKinnon of the Chiefs, plus 175. You know, he can do it on the ground or through the air, screen passes. I think you're going to see a lot of screens and short throws from the Chiefs to combat that defensive line of the Eagles trying to get after him. I think they're really going to hit them with a lot of short stuff and a lot of screens to try to make that pass rush kind of slow itself down. And here's one that I just think's interesting is the Philly defense to score a touchdown plus 750. I mean, with that secondary and all, I could definitely see a pick 6 or somewhere like that. So I thought that was interesting. A couple other ones. A guy that I think has a big game, Devontae Smith, over 5.5 receptions, plus 110. I mean, he only needs 6 catches, right? But the only thing that would scare me about that, Kyle Shanahan's not the other coach, so the Chiefs would probably challenge the one he didn't catch that they called a catch. But,
yeah, he's got to actually legitimately catch them this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First drive to be a punt, plus 110, right? I think this game, I've heard a lot of people 37, 34, 35, 31. I know both of these offensives are explosive, but I just don't know if I see that.
You think this is going to be kind of an in the trenches, kind of down and dirty, low scoring game?
I think it's going to be both teams trying to establish long drives to keep the other offense off the field. Because here's the thing, if this turns into a track meet, I don't think either side wants that. You know what I mean? Because then I'll tell you this much, Philly definitely doesn't want that. Because now you're putting Jalen Hurts in the position where he has to go and throw the ball 300 yards. Philly does not want that. So I just think both teams, you might see something you've never seen out of either one this year, where they really try to control clock. And I made this comment, if the Chiefs don't establish the run, I just can't envision them winning the game if the Chiefs don't win the time of possession. I get it. Mahomes is great. La-da-da-da-da. Thank God Chop's not here to choke on him. But, the Chiefs are going to have to be able to run the football. Because if the Chiefs' defense has been so good, but if they got to stand out there and face that Philly run game for long drives, they're in trouble. So I really think both offenses, their main goal is to establish long drives to slow down the other team's pass rush. Because look, if you're Philly, you don't want Clark and Karlaftis and Jones pinning their ears back. And if you're the Chiefs, you definitely don't want Reddick and old man Fletcher Cox and Graham and Sue and those guys pinning their ears back. So I think you're just going to, especially in the first quarter, you might see a big hitter for a touchdown, but I think you're really going to see them really feeling each other out. Unless the old Nick Sirianni shows up, the one from the press conference that acts like he's God, then all bets are off because he could put his team in a really bad situation. Those are my thoughts. All right. Couple more things real quick. Thornhill, corner for the Chiefs, for him to get an interception, plus 640. McDuffie to get an interception. I thought this one was interesting, plus 680. Wow. Whoever records the most sacks in the game. Chris Jones of the Chiefs, plus 470. Hassan Reddick, plus 400. Sweat of the Eagles, plus 950. Right? And then Graham, the guy who had the strip sack on Brady in the Super Bowl, been around a while.
Mm-hmm.
If he was to lead the game in sacks, plus 2,500.
Wow.
I mean, that guy's been in the game before. So, I mean, 2,500 is a big, big number. Now, again, there's like 500 props up for the Super Bowl, right?
Jeez, yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. But FanDuel is really doing something cool. They have, trying to get to it here. They got like the squares. You know what I'm talking about?
No. Oh, like how they do like at Super Bowl parties and stuff?
Yeah, like how they do at Super Bowl parties.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, and so they got, I was trying to find it. Again, there's like a gazillion props on here, so finding something's like a needle in a haystack. But it was really... All right, so while I'm still looking for that, correct score.
All right, here we go.
Correct score. The over-under is 50.5. The money's about dead even, but I'm leaning towards an under, but by a smidge.
Okay.
So when I look at that, the first thing I think of is 27-23. The number lands on 50.
Okay.
All right. So when you look at that, if you were to take that, right, that means that, sorry, just a second. That means that 27-23 Eagles win plus 16,000.
Ooh. I want to put like a couple bucks on that. Maybe like a lucky 2 or maybe a 5er.
Yeah. Hey, look, $10. $10 gets you 1,700. I mean, give me a break. If you take Chiefs 27-23, it's plus 17,000. Now, if you went for something that I always caution people, for whatever reason, especially now that you have the extra point backed up, I think the number 26 is really in play for somebody, right? And so 26-24, again, you're right there at that 50. I don't know, it just speaks to me, right? So if you took the Eagles 26-24, it's plus 17,000. And if you took the Eagles 26-24, plus 17,000. Now, if you think the Eagles just blow the Chiefs out, 27-10 will get you plus 22,000. What's the score you like, AJ?
I don't even know. I like Chiefs by 3.
Eagles 21-17 Eagles, 31K.
Huh? Wow.
21-19 Eagles, 50K.
I'm not taking. I can't do it with the Eagles. I hate to say it, but
now
be the
Chiefs beat the Eagles 24-23 plus 13,000.
$100 wins you 13,000.
Chiefs 26-21, 42,000.
That is an odd score. I could see that.
Again, wild stuff happens in Super Bowls.
It really does. Like the fact that you have Ndamukong Suh playing in his 3rd Super Bowl. I never thought that guy would make it to a Super Bowl, and somehow he is now with his 3rd different franchise playing in his 3rd Super Bowl. Like, how wild is that? Like,
so the Super Bowl squares, you can do it by the quarter, but for the final, if you took that 27-23 thing, so Eagles 3, Chiefs 7 plus 3,400. If you take it the other way, Eagles with the 7, Chiefs with the 3 plus 3,400. Eagles with a 6 and Chiefs with a 1 is plus 7,500. Eagles with a 6, Chiefs with a 4, or the other way, plus 5,500.
I got to play this. Where's my phone?
Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. These are little things you can do, folks.
Good for FanDuel.
To just have fun, right? Okay, I'm going to give you 5 games, 5 units. Play them, but then take you $100, $200. Look, and have some fun with it, man. You're going to be at a party or something. You're going to be around. And don't sweat it or get all. I mean, the reality is if you split out on your props or win like 30% of them, you should win money. Right? So just have some fun with it. Don't be, don't go betting thousands. But, whatever you're comfortable losing, and I usually don't say that, but the Super Bowl is much different. You should have fun. You should make a lot of fun out of it. Elliott, the kicker of the Eagles, over 7.5 points plus 105.
There
2 field goals, 2 extra points. I can see the Eagles laying on 20.
Easy money right there. Yeah, I mean, I think you bring up a good point. I think it's, it's fun, right? I mean, the game, it matters a lot to these two teams, but in the long stretch of the season, it really doesn't matter it's just one more game. So why not have some fun with it? Like you said, you're going to be out with friends. You're going to be hanging out, maybe sipping on some mojitos or, Corona seltzers or something,
Look, the money line is split 50-50. The over-under is split 50-50. And the line's 1.5. What's that tell you? Neither team has an edge.
Yeah, right.
So we'll have some plays that I've worked really hard on. I don't want to give out more than 5. I got 4 definite and then 2 I'll pick between them. I got plenty of time. I got a whole week. But yeah, take you some props, find you some stuff, put them together in some little. I'm not a same game parlay guy. I think all that's dumb except for the Super Bowl.
There you go. Wow.
Put some stuff together. Have some fun. Treat yourself.
John is loosening up around here. I like this. I like
Treat
this
yourself.
new you,
Yeah.
All year long, you've been so disciplined, and then you let us have some fun. You let the kids get out and have a little fun. This is nice,
And why?
Daddy's giving us permission. This is cool.
Because here's why, and I learned this a long time ago. And I actually learned it when I stupidly laid 14 with the Patriots against the Giants.
You lost all your rent money.
Yes. Is that and then I had a string where I hit, all right, well, let's just go. I hit the Giants after that. I hit the Cardinals the next Super Bowl. 44, I lost with Peyton Manning because Reggie Wayne failed to run a slant pattern, right? 45 with the Packers, I won huge. I won $33,000 that night.
Ooh.
Giants in 46, I called that one. Who was 40? 47 was Ravens, right? Over the 49ers, I called that one right. Super Bowl 48, I lost that one bad. Freaking, I laid the farm on Peyton Manning to beat the Seahawks. That was over in the first 5 minutes. 49, who was in 49? Somebody help me.
Super Bowl 49?
Yeah. Oh, how can I forget? My man Tom came through in the clutch. I had the Patriots over the Seahawks, won a ton there.
49?
Yeah. That was 49.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
50, I had the Broncos. That was an easy winner over the Panthers. 51, I had the Patriots, but I had to sweat that out. And then I bet them in game. I bet them when they were down 28-3 to win. Put $100 on, and that one like freaking 57.
The Falcons one when they came back. Yeah, that was amazing.
52. Who was 52?
Super Bowl.
Oh, that was Eagles Patriots. I lost that one. I had the Pats. 53 was Pats Rams. I won that one. 54 was Chiefs and 49ers. I won that one. 55 was Bucks Chiefs, right? I won that
Chiefs,
one. 56 was big. So we just went back since Super Bowl 42. I've lost 2. Right? 3.
3, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. 12 and 3 over the last 15 Super Bowls. Hey, I just realized that. That's pretty good.
That is pretty darn good. Hey, you might actually have a chance in this thing. You might be pretty good at this one day.
Yeah, one day I think I'm just going to quit my job and just do this.
Imagine that.
Late.
Crazy. All right. Well, hey, look, we're going to have so much stuff to talk about on Wednesday when it comes to Super Bowl. We're going to have the Super Bowl, the Super Bustin' Chops Calling Shots show for the Super Bowl. So
yeah, we're going to go through more props.
Yeah.
Hey, email in questions.
Yeah.
Let's get questions. I want to know what the listeners' questions they want to hear for the Super Bowl show Wednesday that they'll get on Thursday. So when you guys listen to this show tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, send them in. Send in your questions. How can we track? You got a way to track all that? Yeah, we'll track all that.
Yeah, it's just info@bccsports.com and we'll take care of it.
Yeah, email in your questions. I want to answer y'all stuff. I don't want to come up with my own stuff.
Or tweet John.
Tweet me. I want to know what you guys want to know for Super Bowl props.
Twitter handle is @BCCS Sports, or you can email in at info@bccsports.com. John, we got a lot to talk about when it comes to NBA, and then I think we'll probably wrap it pretty early here because I know we got a big show to plan for when Chop comes back from visiting our friend Goofy over at the Magic Castle. let's talk about NBA. We had a big trade go down today. Kyrie Irving goes to the Mavericks. That was pretty huge. So he's going to join Luka. I think they get
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yep.
Finley and
3
2 second-round picks and a first-round pick.
Yep. 3 total picks. Yep. Yeah.
But you know what I love about this more than anything? Is that everybody knows Kyrie and LeBron wanted him to go to L.A.
Mm-hmm.
And Brooklyn said, you know what? You screwed us over so much. That's the last place we're seeing you, buddy. And if you're Dallas, what are you doing?
You think they're mortgaging their future a little bit here, or what? You know?
Well, not really. Like, I agree they need to get Luka help, but I just feel like they're the same person. Just Luka has a better attitude. Like,
yeah,
they both have to have the ball.
Right. Yeah.
So
I feel like it's constantly teams that he's been on, though. It's just around other stars.
Oh, he has screwed over every team he's been with, including my Duke Blue Devils. We should have won the national championship that year if he wasn't a prima donna and wouldn't play. And he screwed up my Celtics. Kyrie Irving, and he gets so much credit for this big game shot. Look, you hit a 3-point jumper assisted by LeBron James in the NBA Finals. I mean, everybody acts like he went off and shot a Steph Curry 38-footer for the win.
Mm-hmm.
It was a catch and rhythm, regular 3-pointer that you see 300 times every night on the NBA slate. And look, I'm not saying the guy isn't uber talented. I just think that for us to talk about how he has the greatest handles in the game or he's one of the most elite scorers ever, I think is total just absurdity. And I'm sorry, I don't care how good you are at something. At some point in time, being a selfish asshole has to diminish your talents. Especially if you ain't got nothing to show for it. Like, if you were a jerk and you had 5-6 rings and league MVPs and all that, then okay, maybe you go tell people to kiss your butt. But you've literally got 1 ring because of LeBron. Not because of you, because of LeBron. And it was like a decade ago.
Yeah.
Since then, you had a loaded Celtics roster that you created a dumpster fire with. You had Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a dumpster fire with. And you're one of the most selfish assholes ever in sports history.
Wow.
If I had a top 10 selfish asshole, most overrated, really not as good as he was called, he would be at the top of the list.
Who would be second? Aaron Rodgers?
Probably.
I feel like
they'd both be in the top 10. I'd have to think about the list. But I mean, when you talk about shenanigans, look, Dennis Rodman was filled with shenanigans.
Yeah,
but at least he came to play. He might have came to the pregame in a wedding dress.
Right.
But he showed more team unity than Kyrie Irving will ever show.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact he went to the Dallas Mavericks, I love it because the Mavs aren't going anywhere anyway. And now LeBron gets his Cheerios peed in again. And Kyrie gets somebody finally stuck it to him. And look, anybody that signs that guy to a multi-year deal in the offseason, you're on crack cocaine. You've been hanging out with Jim Irsay is all I got to say.
So you don't think there's a situation where it's for a player like that, it's going to be the right fit, right? With the right coach, or with a player like that, it's just sort of, there's no chance that
there's no chance.
There's no chance.
No, because he thinks he's above everybody else. He's above the coach. He's above his teammates. And again, dude, you've accomplished nothing.
Yeah.
You've accomplished nothing.
What do you think about the whole thing back a couple years ago, or not even that long? I mean, it's been pretty recent with the Nets and him sitting out and refusing to get, the jab and all that stuff. I mean, is that part of it to you, or is that just a completely separate issue?
I don't know what to think because there's always an issue with Kyrie.
Right.
There's always it's funny. I think it was Aaron Dolan off ESPN. I think she tweeted out, "Oh, yeah, I'm not a Philly fan, but she could make me move to Philly real quick."
Gracious, Carissa Thompson, move over.
Well. Nobody takes Miss
Shh.
Thompson's place.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know. Dolan's a gambler. Me and her, we could gamble
Yeah.
all night long.
You watch out. Couple years down the road, she might be. She's
Yeah. How's my hair look?
Oh, it looks fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, as long as she likes
You're
it.
only in 720p though, so I mean that helps.
Well, yeah. Wait till she sees me in HD. She'll be flaming like my shirt, son.
Oh my gosh, she is a smoke show. But you know, I don't know. She's still pretty new, so we'll
Look,
see if she has.
I would
stands the
turn and
test of
being a
time.
Washington fan and be a diehard Philly fan and throw batteries like the rest of those nut jobs. If she'd just go gamble with me one night,
Yeah, might learn a
Yeah.
thing or two. Maybe she might learn a thing or two.
she might learn a thing or two. Let's get it right. Sure, who the man of the house still
Well, you
is.
might you might both learn a thing or two.
Sure, who the
depending on how
man
that
of the book still is.
Anyway, so what did she say? She said something.
Oh, we're back to. Oh yeah, sorry. Till we get done
No,
with
I
my
threw it
lust
off.
show.
It's my bad. I threw it
Sorry.
off.
Miss Dolan, I do think you're a smoke show though, and I do respect your picks. You're better than those other guys that suck on TV.
Nice.
She said something about just when I thought well, how had she put it? Just when I thought Kyrie was being a good Samaritan, he showed back up again. Basically saying he had been so good for like a month, and everybody's like, oh, you know, the new Kyrie when KD comes back, like the Nets are title contenders, and then it was like the alarm clock on the Kyrie selfish button went off, and he was like, oh, time for me to be a royal selfish asshole again. Like just right on time. Right on time.
So we got Kyrie going to the Mavericks. We also got the trade deadline coming up pretty soon here. Anything else you see a brewing right now that could be interesting?
Bulls are talking about moving DeRozan or Levine. You know, I don't get the Bulls. All kinds of talent. I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, again, don't ever run Michael Jordan off. Look what happens to you. I mean, they've been a mess ever since. You know, there was rumors about Levine going to the Lakers, but look, Zach LaVine, he's another guy. I mean, all he wants to do is chuck shots. Doesn't play defense. He's all about himself. And it's guys like that that really give the NBA a bad name. You know, like we should really be talking about like Giannis and Jokic's greatness, right? Tatum's greatness, not these selfish ball hogs. But so if the Bulls move either one of them, the Lakers have been reported about Levine. The Lakers should have got DeRozan when he wanted to go there previous, but you know, GM LeBron didn't want that. And then you got who's the other one? Oh, Toronto. They're looking at a fire sale, Fred VanVleet or Anunoby. So the Knicks, they've been rumored about getting in the mix, trying to get another piece. The Miami Heat and Phoenix Suns have both said if KD comes available, which look, if you're the Nets now, I mean, I don't know where you go with this because Durant, he can't be happy.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but Kevin Durant, I feel bad for him, but then the other part I don't feel bad. Because again, you were so selfish, you wanted to prove you were the guy instead of, dude, if you stay with the Warriors, y'all win like 7 titles.
Right.
Like, who cares what people think? Why? Because 20 years from now, yeah, he won all those titles, but guess what? They're not going to say that.
Yeah.
After
Right.
Kobe won his 2, do we say, yeah, Kobe, the 5-time champion, but only 2 were on his own, the other 3 were because of Shaq? No, nobody says that. Right? Like, to win a chip, you win a chip. So I feel bad for him, but then the other part is you should have never left the Warriors.
I don't feel bad for him in one bit. I really don't.
So
I think he hasn't, even during his time in the Warriors, really didn't care for, you know, I would say his attitude. He's always had this like public facing persona of like, you know, a good guy, but everything that he's done ever since just really has led me to believe that he's also somewhat really self-involved in his legacy, which to your point, I don't think there's going to be much of one, because he hasn't put himself in the best position to win. And now certainly is not going to do that without Kyrie in Brooklyn.
you just hit the nail on his head when you said legacy, because Kevin Durant should have, just based off of pure talent, went down as a top 10 all-time NBA player.
Right.
And now, unfortunately, now to this generation, because this generation's dumb and doesn't know what real basketball is, he's in an all-time, like people that know the game, he's not a top 20 player.
Yeah.
I mean, he's somewhere 20 to 25. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment, but just what he could have been, man, it's sad.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. We got Steph Curry out a couple weeks here with an injury.
Warriors just can't stay healthy, man. Their age is catching up to them.
Yeah,
their age is catching up to them.
What do you think they got to do to get back in the driver's seat here? I mean, you certainly have some pieces in place, but you know, like you said, the age is catching up with them for sure.
Well, I mean, Draymond's got a lot of tread on the tires. You're really in a part now. You got to rely on Justin Poole and Wiggins, and that's good if you got Clay and Steph. You can rely on them. But when Clay and Steph can't play back-to-backs or they're in and out because of injury, not their fault. Just, again, there's a lot of tread on those tires. I think it makes the Warriors very vulnerable. Now, here's where they have the luxury. One, Memphis isn't going anywhere because Memphis feels themselves too much and John Morant's listened to the hype. The Memphis Grizzlies will never get to an NBA championship series. They'll never get to the finals. Ever. Okay? Won't happen.
Right.
Pelicans, we've saw them fade. They'll never, ever get to one. Right now, look, if the Lakers could add the right pieces and they get in, I think they're dangerous because I do think a healthy LeBron, a healthy AD with the right pieces are dangerous. But Denver's been the best team all year, and I don't see any reason to change that. They're deep. They got Jokic that's looking like the 3-time MVP 3 times in a row now. If he edges out Embiid, which I could make a case either way, but Jokic has put up better numbers than he has the past 2 years when he won the MVP. Dallas, okay, Kyrie and Luka sounds good, but they got no post inside rebound presence. Or, I mean, Kyrie and Luka, which one of them guys is going to play defense? Because I ain't never seen either one of them play a lick of it. And the Suns, the Phoenix Suns have just, talk about a team that just, again, injuries is decimated. I mean, you got an older Chris Paul. So, look, the West is wide open. That's what helps the Warriors. If the Warriors can just be healthy at the start of the playoffs, it doesn't matter if the Warriors are the 7th seed. They're still the team to beat. But outside of, because the West is wide open. Now, the East is a 3-team race. It's the Celtics, the Nets, and Philadelphia, and nobody else. And I really believe if they're healthy, nobody's beating Boston except Milwaukee, because I still believe Giannis is the best player in the game right now. So, but the West, man, is just wide open. The West is wide open.
Yeah. Where do you think Lakers are 25-29, sitting at 5th in the Pacific Division? Do you think there's a chance for them? I mean, it seems like, what are they overall in the whole conference? I think they're 8th, I want to say. Can't remember exactly. It seems like it's an uphill battle for them.
Yeah, they'll probably end up in the play-in tournament, right? Which is seeds 7 through 10 or whatever. They'll probably wind up in that because right now they're in the 13 slot, but they're only 2 games behind the 10th spot of the Jazz. And let's be honest, the Jazz, they're going to fade. Minnesota's going to fade. Look, if you just look at the West, the Denver Nuggets, they're legit. Memphis, they'll make some noise, but they're not finals material because they feel themselves too much. The Sacramento Kings, great job to them, but they're not going anywhere. The Clippers, now look, I think the Clippers need another piece. If they could get rid of John Wall and get another guard, the Clippers would be my favorite out west. Right? Phoenix is 5th. They're decimated by injuries. Dallas is 6th, but this whole Luka and Kyrie thing ain't going to work. Minnesota 7th. They're a dumpster fire. Golden State 8th. Look, again, Golden State and the Lakers and the Nuggets and the Clippers. It's going to be one of those 4 teams.
Yeah, and they're all within 3 games of each other, so really not that far of a spread. So
Denver's the best team. The Clippers need to make a move. The Warriors need to get healthy, and the Lakers need to make a move. That's just the thing. And if you're the Brooklyn Nets, you were sitting 4th in the East without Durant. Like, just when you think you were going to turn the corner, now you're like, I mean, the good thing is for them to fall out, they're 8 games ahead of the Wizards, who are in the 10 hole, but the East is pathetic.
No, I agree with you. I don't see them. I don't see them beating the Sixers, Bucks, or the Celtics. So all those teams are playing great and have really solid pieces in place. So,
yeah.
Well, we had like we mentioned real quick. We'll go over hockey and then we'll jump to John's betting corner. We had the All-Star game this weekend. We have hockey starting back up this week. Give us an update on how we've been doing with hockey and sort of what your take on the season is so far as we get back into regular play.
Well, look, hockey, I'm ecstatic for us to be back at 500. Okay, we started out 5-19. We're now sitting at 40. Yeah, 5-19. But we're 42-42. And like I was texting with some of the guys today, I said, look, hockey starts back up tomorrow, and here's my goal. The regular season ends somewhere like April 6th, April 8th, something like that. So you got about 2 months. If I can pick up 15 games in hockey between now and the end of the year and pick up another 10 in the playoffs and finish 20 to 25 games over in hockey, I think that's a tremendous feat, especially after you start 5-19. So if we can finish 25 over, but really for record keeping purposes, the playoffs would be on next year's calendar. But if we could get to 15 games over somehow, I feel like that would be a huge win. Boston, I mean, they've ran away with the East, especially in the Atlantic. They're 13 points ahead of Toronto. I don't believe in Toronto. Their best player's hurt. Down there in the Metro, the Hurricanes, they're 8 games up on the Devils. I mean, look, the Devils have killed us all year long betting against them or betting on them. But I want to see how New Jersey responds, because I said this all year. Hockey has been on its head the first half. The only thing that has made sense in hockey is that Boston and Tampa Bay are still up there. But the rest of the league is flipped upside down. It really is. And I don't think the Devils can hang in there. I think you're going to see the Devils slide back in the Central out west. Dallas is a point up on Winnipeg. And I mean, look, you got Colorado in the 4 hole, Nashville in the 5, St. Louis in the 6. Again, totally upside down there. There's a 9-point advantage, Stars over the 4th place Avalanche. I think the Avalanche make a climb back. And then who could have predicted this out in the Pacific? The Crackheads in Seattle. Them and the Kings tied at 63 points. The Knights at 62. Edmonton at 60. Calgary at 57. Look, Edmonton, they might have the best player in the game, but Edmonton's problem is they give up way too many damn goals. I mean, they'll score 6 and lose 7-6. They lose 5-4. They can't stop a nosebleed, for God's sakes. So it'll be interesting. But again, hockey starts back tomorrow. There's already one game that I circled that I like. And there's a college basketball game I circled that I like. Just got to finish doing the work. But I think hockey, second half, look, again, to be 42-42 after starting 5-19, I'll take it. Now, we're still down units because of juice and all, but, I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right. Well, we're excited to get hockey back. And I'm, might start playing some hockey then if you feel like you're that ambitious about that goal of yours. Heck, you've blown every single one out of the water so far, so I might jump on that.
Yeah, I mean, look, but again, no luck. And I said that to a guy today, to be 256 games over, folks, I don't really think y'all grasp that. I really don't. And, it's just like I said, I get no breaks. I mean, Fairfield, we're down 7, got them plus 7.5. They lose by 9 on a pointless bucket that didn't need to be scored. The Gonzaga game last night, we lead the whole game until a minute 34 left. Mm-hmm. Gonzaga controlled the whole game, and as soon as it went to overtime, I knew I was like one of those Olympic stars in the Olympic Village. I knew I was going to get screwed. It was a guarantee. As soon as it went to overtime, I felt like an Olympian. I knew what was about to happen. I was in the village. right? So, somebody else said, hey, how could you take Temple plus 11.5 tonight? Okay, well, newsflash. A, they beat them in Houston. B, Temple has covered 7 of the last 8 against them. C, Temple was up by as many as double digits in this game. And look, they still had a chance there at the end. They just couldn't hit shots. I got a home team plus 11.5, second best team in the conference that already beat them at their place. Yeah, I get the revenge spot. Did I think Houston was going to win? Yeah, but 11.5 is a lot to lay on the road, right? So, again, you lay points on the road, you'll be sleeping in a park bench. Just ask, Tennessee going to Florida.
Yeah, so true. Hey, you guys talked a little bit about the Busch series on last Thursday's episode, and tonight we actually got to listen to you rant a little bit about it. So why don't you give us a little a little update on how that went for us, because that was kind of a first for us on this show, and then why don't you just hop right into John's betting corner after that?
Yeah, Martin Truex Jr. gets the win. Congratulations to him. He had the fastest car all weekend. I liked the spot with Kyle Busch, though. He had led the most laps last year, and it just, because of pit stop, it didn't work out. And he was in the Bet MGM car, because he switched rides to Childress.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, you had the big Bet MGM line on the thing.
Just felt right.
Yeah, well, look. The guy went from back in 20th all the way back up to 3rd in the matter of 16 laps, right? So he had the car. He just struggled early on, and there at the end he ran out of tires. But, we had Dillon, who was plus 4,000, and Busch, who was plus 800, second and third on the restart with 7 laps left, but Truex hold on. So, as the NASCAR season goes on, I will give out plays on matchups. Now, when I give out, I'll do a 5-pack, my top 5 picks for the race, and we track them and kind of see how that goes. I just do that for fun. Again, it's like the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
But there is work that goes into that because that's something I do bet. I've had some success. Other things I don't promote, but you'll get some Canadian Football League every once in a while. You'll get some USFL every once in a while. You'll get a handful of WNBA plays. You'll get the major horse races. I'm always into those.
Oh, Kentucky Derby is coming up.
Last year, I won the Preakness and the Belmont. So, I'm always looking for a way for my guys to make money because that's what they, and I don't want to say that's what they pay me to do. They pay me to make them money. But they sign up for football, basketball, hockey, baseball. But I'm always looking for an opportunity, right?
Sure.
It's like WNBA finals. Okay, Connecticut gets down, 2-0. Know they need them in game 3. Okay, I'm going to bet them in game 3, give it out to all my guys. So I'm always looking for a way to make money. And again, it's so hard to pick winners. I don't think nobody's ever going to realize that. And I don't know why they don't realize it because all they should do is look at how they picked before me. Right? Like, if you weren't winning before, and, I texted another guy this tonight, hey, if you can find somebody better, let me know so I can pay them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I would love to find somebody that does better at it than me, and then I don't have to do all this work. I can just pay somebody to do it for me. Right? I don't even need to have this. I can just follow somebody and make my own money. Mm-hmm. But it's so hard to pick winners. And I think as we wind down here, it's Sunday, February 5th, is March 31st, the season ends. And I really want to challenge everybody. And I've gotten around to some of our guys, but not all of them. I want to challenge everybody to, again, think about what you're trying to achieve in discipline. I was talking to a guy yesterday and he was like, yeah, discipline's my problem. I'll put 600 on this game, $50 on this one too. You'll never win that way. You'll just, I got another guy. Yeah. I take all your plays and put them in a parlay every day. Okay. But are you playing them straight? No, I just play all parlays. I'm like, dude, do you know do you know how hard it is to go 3-0? Like, I know it might seem easy because there's 147 games on the board on a college basketball Saturday, but this isn't just like, there is time and effort and study that goes into all 147 games. Like, I don't think it's, I don't understand why people can't get that it's not easy because, again, they did nothing but pick losers before. But there's a lot that goes into it. And what I really want to get to, I got off topic, is what do you want to accomplish? What can you really bet? And what are you willing to do? Right? Mm-hmm. Because I think it's real important. April 1st, and, none of the people listening to this have ever been with us for the whole actual calendar year, right? Like I had a guy tonight. Well, how good have you been since January 1st? If you count juice, I said, look, dude, I don't BS anything. You're going to have bad days, bad weeks, bad months. I got to take it over the body of a year. Look, when you lose money in the stock market, you don't call up your broker every Friday, do you? I lost another $1,000. I lost another $400. No, and the reason why is everybody thinks they know sports, but they know very little about, again, yes, you know a lot about sports. You don't know diddly squat about sports betting. They're two different animals. They're two different beasts. They're so different, right? And again, if it was that easy, nobody would go to work on Monday. After the Super Bowl, they would have to shut Vegas down because all the casinos would be broke. And we'd have, 100,000 new millionaires walking around if it were that easy. That's not going to happen. So, again, get yourself in a position and, one, stop being a cheapskate, right? Because you got to spend money to make money in this world. Nobody just comes along and hands you something. So if you got a guy like me and you're willing to ride it April 1st through March 31st, I think you're really going to see the value, but you got to be committed to it. And you got to have, look, if all you can bet's $20, $25 a game, look, everybody got to start somewhere. But, if you bet 500 a game, right? And we're just going to do basic math, right? So 500 a game, and we're 256 games over. You made $128,000. All right. So instead of taking out 10% for juice, I'm going to take out 15 because I do lay some high money lines, and I don't really count all the plus monies in baseball or hockey that happen because nobody ever gives me credit for that stuff. All right. That's 19-2. You still made $108,800 as a $500 better. I got some guys betting $5-10 a game.
Damn. That's crazy.
No, it's really not. Like I told somebody, yeah, my dream is to one day just be able to do this for a living, but I know that's unattainable. Why?
You got to start somewhere.
Look, there was a time in my life, folks, this is no lie, on my daughters and on my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, there was times where I could only put $10 on a game or $15 on a game. You have to start somewhere, but it's not a easy road. You're not just going to start at baseball as a $25 better, and when we start football in September, you're going to be able to bet 500. It doesn't work that way. It might take you April all the way around to next April to go from 25 a game to 300 a game. But guess what? Once you're in the 300-400, now we're rolling.
Right.
And if you can just follow the process, and like I've been telling everybody, stop touching the money.
Yeah.
Stop taking it out of FanDuel. Stop taking it out of DraftKings. Stop taking it out of Barstool. Just leave it. It's you got to look at it's not your money. It's your retirement fund.
Yeah.
All right. You can withdraw twice a year. The first year you're with me, you really shouldn't withdraw at all unless you're betting $1,000 a game. Right. And just if you would just follow me and listen to me. And here's the other thing. You got to not give a damn what the result is night in and night out. Again, I know it's hard because we all love sports. Female, male, we all love it. We watch it every single night. We check. There's 90% of the world checks scores every night on their phone, right or wrong.
100%.
100%. But you got to not care. You got to, 1 and 2. That sucks. And then just go on like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 and 1. You got to not care and just get the mindset. It doesn't matter what happens tonight. Doesn't matter what happens this week. John told me if I bet this and I can lose up to 20 games and not to move it till this, if I just do what he says And if I don't feel like I'm sure, I just text him every week because he's the only guy in the business from his personal damn phone that texts back. If I just follow that process, I'm going to be okay. If you can get your mind to where you don't care what the result is night in and night out, man, you're going to make a lot of money with me. If you're a $25 better in 3 years, I'll have you making $150K if you listen. But see, that's the part we don't want to listen. Everybody wants it now or feel like they're entitled or feel like, man, I gave this guy, $100, $200, $300, whatever it is, and he didn't win this week. Dude, let's break it down. Okay? Let's just break it down. If you paid $3,600 for the whole year because you paid monthly, right? If you paid it all up front, it'd be like, I don't know, whatever it is, 27, whatever. But $3,600, so a $500 better after juice and after me, you're still going to profit $105,000, and that's not good enough for you. Just think about that and let it sink in. So you're either one of two things. You're either in this world to be smart and get yourself where your goals want to take you and where you want to be, or you're going to be in the same spot you were because you were undisciplined, you wanted everything now, and you thought everything was so easy and your way was the right way. Again, if you can pick better than me, God bless you.
Yeah.
God bless you.
I think the key, like you said, don't touch it. To a degree, right? Like, you maybe set some money aside additional to what your bankroll is that you want to have some fun for, like the Super Bowl, like we talked about, right? But otherwise, that's your money in there, and that's in there. It needs to work for you, just like you're working for them. That money is there to work for you. That money is there to continue to get you to a place where you're at that $3,000-$5,000 bets. It's not there to take out. It's there to get you from a $25 better and grow you to a $100 and a $500 better. And that's when you're really going to be able to see those dividends. So I 100% agree. You just have to stay disciplined and you have to follow the program.
Yeah, if we get you to where you got $20,000 in your account, in your gambling account, and you can go step up to $1,000 a game, I mean, you're going to make an ungodly amount of money. And see, that's the hardest thing, because I'll tell you this, that was the hardest thing for me, right? That was the hardest thing for me.
Yeah.
But once I got to the point where I didn't care, and I do care because other people rely on me, but my own I always got to bring it back at the end of the day after I, run with my tail in between my legs. I'm really good at self-assessing every day. I've gotten better at that year in and year out. Okay, I get to wake up and do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't matter if I was 1-2 yesterday. It's done. There's nothing I can do about it. All I can do is keep doing the same thing that has gotten me 13 years in a row of 150 games over. And this year it's 256. What a blessing from God to be 256. What a blessing that I've been able to get better at my craft. Okay, can I finish 270 this year? Next year, can I do 200 again? I mean, it's the first time I've ever gotten over 200. Can I get over 200 again? You know what I mean? So it's just, and if anything, the podcast and all this has fueled me to get better. But again, you got to be disciplined. You got to have a plan, and you can't touch the money because, like you said, AJ, if you touch it, you're never going to be able to go from a $50 better to a $500 better.
Right.
You're just never going to be able to do it. So that's my gambling corner for this evening. Looking forward to a good week.
It's going to be a great week. And, it's great to know that you are also betting these yourself, right? So it's kind of like this validation thing where, oh yeah, like damn you, John, like, or thank you, John, or whatever, whatever feedback you might get. It's like, well, dude, I'm betting these too, and the fact that you're not broke and homeless, that's a pretty good sign, right? So the fact that you got to quit your job and you're still doing this as a profession, it's like, well, maybe you're doing something wrong and not, not me, or whatever,
Yeah, look, it's funny because I was on the treadmill at Planet Fitness during the Fairfield Iona game and had it going on my phone while I'm on the treadmill. And first of all, Fairfield got down 19 and I really stopped paying attention, right? Next thing you know, I'm down 6. Then I'm down 7 with 33 seconds left. And part of me wanted to get excited.
Yeah.
Because I had 1,200 on the game. And then the other part was just like, I know what's about to happen. I've seen this before. I just watched Gonzaga the night before lead for freaking 38 and a half minutes the whole game. And I was praying at the end. I didn't care if it was St. Mary's or Gonzaga, just somebody scoring that last 5 seconds, right? So again, yeah, I got money on it.
Yeah.
Right? So Temple, Fairfield, yeah, I had 1,200 on them. Kyle Busch to win the race. I spread around like $450 on the race tonight. 200 of it was on Kyle Busch to bring me back 1,600. I got a guy that had the best car, arguably, and got spun out. Took him 20 laps to get back to the front. By then, tires are gone. I finished with the second and third place guy. You know what I mean? I've been left at the altar many times. I'm sure, Kay Dolan, if you're out there, I need to be consoled.
Yeah.
Me, you, some wine, sports book, couple tickets.
Yeah, I'm sure we should definitely have her on one day.
Absolutely.
That should be a goal. Kay Dolan on the show. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, guys, really appreciate you all listening tonight. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much for subscribing. You can also check us out on YouTube if you want to see our pretty faces at Bustin' Chops Calling Shots. No and, no G's. Bustin' Chops Calling Shots. That's also our handle on IG and Facebook if you want to check us out with some of our clips and our constant posts there when it comes to updates in sports world. And then our website, of course, is bccssports.com. You can go up and sign up for a free package. You get all of the free plays that John puts out, but you can also sign up for any of our paid packages. And we have a promo going on right now too, don't we? Or is there a baseball promo going on right now? I think MLB 30% off if you sign up, and that'll get you all the way through March Madness and to football next year. So, can't do much better than that, man. 30% off. There you have it
for the new signees. So, yeah,
absolutely. Well, Chop will be back on Wednesday. You guys will be in good hands, and producer AJ will be back. I'll be behind the keys at that point, but maybe I'll pop in here and there. And it's going to be a big Super Bowl show, so you guys will get that show on Thursday night at the latest. So, really appreciate y'all tuning in, John. Appreciate you as always, and we'll see you guys
Great
next
job.
show. Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Great job
Love
too.
you all my winners.